Good morning, good evening and good afternoon. It is a lovely, clear, calm night here in London. I'm very happy to say our last night in London. Not that I don't love London. This guy particularly I am going to miss very, very much. He's been my constant through a very difficult time, and Graham is doing brilliantly. We're both thrilled that the taxi comes to collect us any minute now. It is about 6 minutes to 2 in the morning here in London. Reporting here from central London now. Lots to talk about. Lots. A few weeks ago when I said things are going to come thick and fast, I knew it because Graham and I unfortunately have a couple of pretty nasty characters in our circle of life who have done nothing but cause us trouble. Narcissists, psychopaths. And that's really why I was interested in the Markle story, because from the engagement interview I identified certain things, falsehoods, false behaviour. Oh, I had no idea who Harry was. I never Googled him. Blah, blah, blah. I just had one question. Is he nice? Because if he's not nice, that just wouldn't make sense for me. Yeah, I think we all know the story. And by now, I suppose a lot of you already know that Harry has been ordered to pay $50,000 or thereabouts for his application. Now, I know that all of the sugars have completely misunderstood this, and I also suspect that a lot of you guys may have misunderstood this $50,000 mark, because I've read comments on X. Oddly enough, in this ring of steel, I can read comments on X, but not YouTube. Now, what I've noticed is that a lot of you guys seem to think that's how much one lawsuit has cost Harry. That is one application. That's what they're called. There is a book out there. It's called that's funny I should mention that. I can't remember. It's called something like Common Practices. I think it is Common Practices. I've got it back home. I'll dig it out when I get there and I'll read some very interesting and short paragraphs from it. It's basically a book of common sense. It's for when you want to sue somebody. It's basically a guideline, and they update it all the time. I bought an old copy and it cost me about 60, 80 quid, something like that. For those of you that are new to my channel, you probably don't know that I have sued people myself and won. Having said that, it cost us dearly as a family in sleepless nights and stress. And I would always advise anybody, if they were thinking of suing, don't do it. And I have mentioned it once or twice before in the past that Harry is a fool for suing. He is what I would call, personally, a vexatious litigant. He sues, he's sue happy. He's sue at the drop of a hat. And that worked in the past. Remember the misremembering? New word, never heard of that before the Court of Appeal came up with it. The $50,000 mark is for one hearing. One hearing. I have mentioned this many times before. When you sue somebody, there is a general common misconception that the loser ends up paying the winner's costs. That is not exactly how it works. That's a very, very, like, how long is a piece of string? What happens in actual reality is that during the proceedings, you don't just go straight to trial. Both sides will make what are known as applications. They will apply to the court for various things and argue their toss about every little itty-bitty legal point. But if you're ever thinking of suing someone, then be careful with your applications, because when you make an application, everybody has to go to court and a judge has to preside and decide on who is right and wrong. Now, whoever is found wrong, generally the other side will say to the judge, this has cost us money and time to come here today, and we would like to apply for costs on this application. And the judge has options. They can say, yes, absolutely, the loser in this application will pay the costs. Or the judge may say, no, the loser actually had a good reason for bringing this application and therefore I'm not awarding costs. Or the judge may say, we'll decide about costs on this application along with all the other hundreds of applications, and there can be hundreds in one lawsuit. We'll decide that at the costs hearing. So when you sue someone, even if you win, then there's another trial at the end, a big long lengthy one where everybody argues the toss about each and every single application that judges have said we will decide later. In this instance with Harry, it sounds as if the judge got quite fed up and just awarded costs to the Mail on Sunday. Now, we know of a few applications that have hit the headlines. We do not know of all of the applications, and there will have been extensively many. So even if Harry were to win, and he could end up winning £1, he may end up with a big costs hearing where he will end up paying $50,000, $50,000, $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, $50,000, $20,000. Ooh, woo, 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 woo. And that is just one lawsuit. So when I posted on X that I was shocked that he had been ordered to pay $50,000 in, there we go. Oh, I just got to listen to this guy one last time because we're gone soon. We will be gone within the hour and back in Gibraltar. Oh, I love that guy. For whom the bell tolls. So this is going to be very costly. And only about an hour before the news came out that Harry was going to have to pay this near mark $50,000 for one application, one itty bitty application in one lawsuit. And let's not forget he has many court cases which will run to hundreds of applications. I mean, do the maths yourself. Just before that news hit, the news hit that he is desperate to come back and be with his family. It was in Geo News. I'm not making this up. I will put a link in the description. I can well believe it. There's no place like home, Harry. I should know. I cannot wait to get home. The truth of the matter is, and the harsh reality as I see it, and in my opinion, is that his marriage is a disaster. And his wife is a bitch. Very manipulative. I'm sorry, I don't know who Prince Harry is. I just had one question. Is he nice? Because if he's not nice, then it doesn't work for me. Remember that? And a ton of other shit that's gone down. I can see in his own stupid, baffling way that he has tried desperately to make things work. And he can't. And perhaps he just needs to go back to the bank of daddy. Probably the best place for him. Not officially on the website, not as a working royal, but possibly in a little property somewhere, tucked away for his own good. I can well believe it. And we are not even at Christmas. It was only a matter of 4 weeks ago that I was saying to you guys, brace yourselves, buckle up, it's going to come thick and fast, and so it will. And if I'm right about Meghan, and I could be wrong, I always add the caveat, I could be full of shit. Always check everything I say. I'm only giving my opinion on the situation as I see it from a PR point of view. If I am right and she bears any resemblance to the two characters that we personally have in our own lives, the screams are going to get louder and louder and worse and worse. What you've seen so far is nothing. It will get worse, building to the 25th of December. Because I personally believe that WME, William Morris Endeavours, have said to her, get the money shot, go to the royal family for Christmas, get some connection. There's nothing else we can do to help. And that's not going to happen unless the royal family have completely lost their marbles. Well, it's a question of watch this space, isn't it? I shall see all of you back in Gibraltar. Thank you very much for listening.